Hey, what's up? It's Robert Fitton. Now, the last video I did, I talked briefly about a couple of concert situations that I was involved in, like Candlebox and Marilyn Manson. Got a lot of great comments on those, so I thought I'd make a video kind of expanding on that theme and just talk about some of the concert experiences I've had over the years. So let's just get right into it. Metallica. I remember seeing Metallica at the Riverport Amphitheater. 1998 was the year. By the way, this is my mandatory Metallica CD. This is a radio promo CD for people that used to host mandatory Metallica all over the country. I was one of those people. 4 Metallicas in a row every night. You know, old Metallica, new Metallica. So that was a like promotional CD. Anyway, July 28th, 96, Riverport, and this is the wildest concert experience I've ever had as far as a rowdy crowd. I know. Metallica, at the height of their like commercial success, mainstream, middle of the road at this point. I think Reload had just come out. And, you know, I've been to like Slayer concerts and Candlemass, all these like extreme rock. I've never experienced anything like Metallica at Riverport, where like halfway through the concert, all of a sudden, full cups, these big full amphitheater cups of beer, just people throwing them from the lawn down on the people in the reserve seats, just coming from everywhere. And this was pre-internet. You know, the internet wasn't big yet, and so this wasn't like a flash mob plan thing. I don't know how they worked this thing out, but just cups flying everywhere. And I'm like, man, these things are expensive. I mean, amphitheater beer. You've been to an amphitheater and bought the beer. It's not cheap. All right. So I'm thinking this, and then I look over and I see, you know, this thing going on, and it's like, oh, that's not beer. That's a cup full of piss. People are throwing cups full of piss. Makes sense now. You drink all the beer, you take piss, throw it, done. Don't have to leave and go to the restroom. And so, yeah, I realized people are getting hit with piss. And so that's when we were in this little like box section, like between the two reserves or like the radio people. And I just decided, we and a couple other people just were like, we're getting the hell out of here. We're going back to the, you know, we have this little section, media section at Riverport over on the side behind this, you know, kind of like backstage over on the right. So we just went over there and we could just see these beers. We saw this woman, she was like a rocker chick all dressed to the nines, you know, on a rocker outfit with a hair and everything. Boosh, right to the back of the head. Piss go everywhere. She had this, I don't know, boyfriend or husband or something with her, all fucking muscled out in a big tank top. He turns around and goes, hey! Like, dude, what are you going to do? Are you going to A, find out and these thousands of people who threw that, or B, just go ahead and kick everybody's ass? Well, they just left the concert. So yeah, I've never been anywhere where just fucking beers just for like 20 minutes. It was crazy. Metallica, man, hats off, man. That's the rowdiest thing I've ever been to. And it was, like I said, Metallica 98, you know, total mainstream, total like Riverport Amphitheater, take the kids, and piss just flying everywhere. I saw 3 Doors Down in Champaign. I'm just doing these in kind of random order. 3 Doors Down in Champaign. The thing I remember about this concert was I got backstage and I was talking to the guys and all the band was here, and then the lead singer was off in another room. So I go to talk to him and he's like, "Oh man, sorry, we fucking sucked." I'm like, I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, well, you're 3 Doors Down. That's expected. I mean, you kind of do like the middle radio rock stuff with 4-minute songs for teenagers. I mean, that's your thing. I didn't say that, of course. Oh, no, you guys were great. Oh, no, man, we fucking sucked. They ain't boo-sheeting. Boo-sheeting. These guys are from Escatawpa, Mississippi, and this dude said boo-sheeting. I'm not sure if he still talks like that or not. That's the first time and only time in my life I've ever heard anybody say boo-sheeting. I've heard, you know, that's bullshit. You know, that's kind of dialect goes on around here, but not boo-sheeting. I bet the YouTube closed caption censor just lets that go right by. Oh, Tammy Wynette. There's a sad one. I saw Tammy Wynette in Dollywood. Jerry Clower opened for her. And of course, if I'm at Dollywood, I've always got to wear my Riddle Rat t-shirt just to see who gets it. Some people do. But yeah, Tammy Wynette, I saw her. It was so tragic. She was so not well at the time. And she gets on the stage and she's coughing and she's messing up the songs. And I think she did like one song good. The rest of them are just, the songs are in tatters. She basically leaves the stage. Some younger woman comes out, does like 5 or 6, you know, like cover songs, pop Reba songs and stuff like that. And then Tammy Wynette comes back out and does Stand By Your Man and kind of messes up the end of it. And she died like just not too long after that. So that was really sad. It's kind of like watching The Rose, you know, the Bette Midler movie, The Rose, but seeing it like live in front of you with like a country legend. So that was really sad to see Tammy Wynette, you know, perform like that at Dollywood, all messed up. But she did it though. She was a trooper. She went all the way, you know, came back out, made sure she did Stand By Her Man, did it for the fans. Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, they got together for Walking into Clarksdale. You know, everybody thought it was going to be a big Led Zeppelin thing, but it really was more of like a Jimmy Page and Robert Plant thing. I went and saw these guys at the Kiel Center in St. Louis, and I was privy to set lists at that time from other places. These guys, Robert Plant on stage going, all right, who wants to hear a good old country song? And now, of course, St. Louis goes, boo, boo, boo. So they fly into like rock and roll or something like that, and then Robert Plant's like, yeah, there's your country song after it's over. I found out in other places, they did Going to California and like another song there. You weren't supposed to boo when they asked if you wanted a country song, St. Louis. Gee, wow. So like, okay, this one concert came to town. I'm very, very new in radio. I'm not even sure I can really say who this is. But this is like my first crazy backstage experience. So I'm really new. This is my first concert backstage. And I'm thinking, you know, who knows what's going to happen here. So we're backstage. And there's this dude walking, you know, and there's catering, and there's, you know, groupies hanging out, and it's, you know, it's, you know, after the concert, and everybody's kind of wired, and, you know, there's a lot of energy going on, and, you know, I'm like totally psyched, because this is my first, you know, I'm backstage at a rock concert, wow, starting out in radio, and so there's this guy walking around with his balls out, and I'm not really even sure how you do that, but he was just walking, no penis, just his balls out, and nobody was saying anything about it, everybody was acting like, this is totally normal. He was hanging out by the catering, by the ham sandwiches and shit with his balls out. You know, doing chips and dips, balls out. Balls out. And, you know, so I'm like looking at some of the other radio people. They're like, we're not going to say anything because we don't want to come off like the, you know, the nerdy, you know, like, oh, what's this all about? We don't know. You know, so we're just all like playing it cool. And this guy's walking around with balls out. And, yeah, so then, you know, it gets later, everybody starts getting a little drugged up, everybody's getting a little you know, like wild, you know, and things start getting kind of crazy, everybody starts getting kind of loud. All of a sudden, Balls Guy jumps up on the table, and everybody starts chanting, chicken heart, chicken heart, chicken heart, chicken heart. And he takes his balls, and he goes, boom, 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 and everybody's, yay, including the band, yay! I don't know who this guy was, up on the table. And then he takes and unzips his pants, takes his cock out, and goes, all right, who's got a dollar bill? And like, people had dollar bills already ready. Like, this happens all the time. Dollar bill, waving around. He takes a dollar bill, folds it in half long ways, puts it around his penis, and rolls like the excess skin down over the dollar bill and says, you know, something like, I don't remember what he said, but it was like, he's got enough skin to like something, and he rolled it down the dollar bill. And everybody, yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Now, this isn't, I don't think this is anybody affiliated with the band, but the band is treating this like it's normal. So like this guy like travels with them or something. First radio experience ever, and you're thinking, you know, like and you got a guy with chicken heart and balls out and dick out and whatever, and up on the table, and you think it's going to be crazy like that, and it turns out everything else is just kind of tame, really, comparatively. I really shouldn't tell you who that band is, though. But I will tell you, man, I totally forgot when I was making that Kiss video where I go back in my childhood and I talk about all my Kiss growing up when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old. I totally forgot to mention the concert. The Kiss concert I went to. I got the exact date here. It was Kiel Center, April 15th, 1997. It's like a dream come true. First of all, before I get to Kiss, though, I will say Alice in Chains opened for them. It was the second time I'd seen Alice in Chains. Here's the Fear the Voices radio promo. It was around that time, and you know, they were pretty much not really with it anymore. They were pretty much done at this point. But they're opening for Kiss, and I'd seen them before, and they were great before. This time they were really lousy, and I don't know who it was, but the lights go down, the concert's over, or the concert's, I guess, before the encore, and somebody in the group starts singing into the microphone, Beth, but in a really like mocking kind of way, like, Beth, I hear you calling at a Kiss concert. So the audience starts booing Alice in Chains, and they're done. They don't come back out or anything. That's the way that's last I saw Alice in Chains getting booed at the Kiss concert. But man, this was the Kiss that was out at the time. This like this like just cash grab Kiss album. You wanted the best, you got the best, with like a Jay Leno interview thrown in at the end. I mean, totally worthless release. Come on. But yeah, this was out at the time. But This is what they really wanted to do. They wanted to do a live 2 all over again in 1997 for like the 20th anniversary. And like I said, it was a dream come true because I was a little kid in 1977. There's no way I could go see a Kiss concert when I'm a little kid. That was a dream. You might as well dream about going to the moon or something like that. And so it was great to be able to like relive a like childhood fantasy. And of course, it's Kiss with the makeup. So they look like they haven't aged, at all because of all the makeup. So it was so perfect. That was a perfect concert. And I never saw them again after that because I didn't want to ruin that like perfect concert experience. Hey, did you know that there was a time when Def Leppard just walked through malls? Yeah, they came to town and played, and before they did, they walked through the White Oaks Mall in Springfield. Just walking through a regular mall, walked into Sam Goody. Yeah, oh wait, it wasn't when this album was out. Probably one of the reasons they didn't get recognized or hassled is because it was in this album was out, Euphoria. Yeah, and they got this short hair. It was Phil Collins and Joe Elliott and a couple of guys, I guess roadies or management or a couple guys with the band, and they just had their regular clothes on, and they didn't, they have short hair now, and they didn't have it, moosed up or anything, so it really didn't look a lot like rock stars. But yeah, they just walked into Sam Goody. You think these guys would go to like a local record store or CD store at the time or whatever, but no, it's Sam Goody. And they just looked around and left, said hi to all the employees. And yeah, my guy I worked with at the time was also working there and told me about that story. But yeah, just Def Leppard just walks into the mall and walks into Sam Goody. Very strange. Kid Rock. Here's an early single from him. I met him early on in his career. I think this is colored vinyl. Actually, yeah, it is. It's orange. This is an early version of I Am the Bull Guy. But yeah, Kid Rock backstage, man, he's got some weak weed. You think he would be like the god with like the green, with the purple and the red hairs or whatever? No. Frost? No. There's none of that. Dirt weed. And the dude kept calling me Upstart. I'm pretty sure when I met him, he thought I was somebody that I wasn't. He thought I was somebody that he knew because he kept calling me Upstart, and then he smoked with me, and it was like the weakest weed ever. It was like really, really bad. On the flip side of that, I went to a radio show for a record convention. It was all radio people and media people, whatever, there to check out these brand new bands. The bands were, I could be wrong about this. I want to say it was called One Way Out or No Way Out or something was one of the bands. Tantric, I think, was one of the bands. There was a band called Endo, E-N-D-O. I definitely know they were one of the bands. And this new band from Canada called Nickelback was one of the bands. Woo! Yeah, Nickelback. So I had seen Tantric. I'm not sure about the other band. I'd seen Endo, and Nickelback had started, and I was familiar with their Leader of Men song because that was the first single to be released to radio in the U.S. I didn't care for it at all. I thought they were lame on stage. So the record rep for the Endo band comes over and was like, just come backstage and hang with the guys and meet these guys. I was like, yeah, okay. Now, I didn't realize at the time what he was doing was getting me away from the Nickelback concert so he could, so I wouldn't see them because they were going to be the ones that blew up out of these four. He was getting me away from them so he could take me backstage to talk with his band, this Endo. And I think one of the other bands were out there, they'd already all played. And so they're, they're passing around stuff and they're smoking it and whatever. And I start getting messed the hell up. Now, I'm at a radio convention here. I'm away from home. I'm in Minneapolis. And I start getting messed. Oh, I forgot to say the best part. This is all happening at 5th Avenue, the Prince place in Minneapolis. This is where this is going on. And so mind-blowing. It's the only time I've ever been there. And so, yeah, we're there at the Purple Rain place watching all this. And so now I'm backstage with this group. And, it's passing around, and I'm getting messed up. The guy, I've got a buddy with me who also works at the radio station. He's getting messed up. I'm looking over at him. He looks like he's fucking possessed. His eyes are beet red. I mean, I have never been this messed up. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, what? This kid, is this weed? What is it? I'm just joking around. He's like, oh yeah, it was. And it's peyote. These guys are passing around like peyote. I'm pretty sure. I described the effects in more detail when it had just happened to different people, and they're like, that's peyote. I don't know what it was. Could have been a PCP or whatever. I don't think it was marijuana. And we're so messed up. And the Avenue place in Minneapolis, when you walk out the front door, the traffic is right there. There's a main street just right there with traffic going zoo, zoo, zoo. It took us 5 minutes to cross that street. I had to hold my friend's hand, get him across the street. He was totally freaking out. We didn't know where the hotel we stayed at were. We got lost. We kept walking around, get lost. All of a sudden, I'm like freaking out. I don't know. I just want to go and lay in a bed somewhere in a hotel. I'm like having hallucinations and shit. All of a sudden, here comes the Island Records rep. I see him. Hey, his name's Dan. Hey, man, do you know where the hotel is? What hotel? I know where my hotel is. Or I don't know. Where's the hotel? Maybe it's the same one. It's 2 blocks that way. It's just 3 blocks away. Turns out we had only walked 1 block. And we just needed to walk 2 more blocks, and the hotel was right there. So we get to the hotel. I walk up. We walk through the lobby. We get up to the elevator, push the button. The door's about ready to open, and I'm going to throw up. So I'm figuring in my mind, okay, I can either run back out of the lobby, or I can take a chance to get in this elevator to get up to the room. There could be other people using this elevator. So I'm just going to run back out of the lobby, which is exactly what I do. My friend's like, what are you doing? And he runs out after me. I turn right and throw up in the street. My friend sees me doing this and throws up in the street. So yeah, finally get back to the into the hotel, up to the elevator, into the room, and it was like, oh my, it was like, now this is what it's all about, you know. And then I had my experience, but well, don't do peyote and try to cross the street right out of Prince's club, right out, and then find your hotel. It's probably not going to work. Peyote, man, backstage at a rock concert. I mean, aren't you supposed to do that on like a mountaintop or something? Anyway, Nickelback. I just want to say real quick too, all these late bandwagon-esque Nickelback haters, I'm not one of those people. I hated Nickelback day one. That Leader of Men song that everybody else liked, I didn't like it. And what followed that up, there was Breathe, I think was a single, maybe. I don't remember. But I didn't like them either. Everybody else liked them. And then later on, it was like when Something in Your Mouth or whatever came out, oh yeah, these guys suck. That's pretty good songs to begin with, though. They weren't too bad. Yes, they were. They were all horrible. They were horrible from, I don't know about that earlier Canadian CD. I'm assuming that's awful, but this is awful. And I hated them first. I just want to, I'm not jumping on Nickelback bandwagons. I said they were awful from day one. I just want to make that clear. I've been to the Apollo Theater in New York. Now, who did I see at the Apollo? It's probably, what did I see? James Brown? Unfortunately, I've never seen James Brown. Was it somebody like, I don't know, Shaka Khan? Or was it Prince? Was it Prince? I have never seen Shaka Khan or Prince, unfortunately. No, I saw Korn at the Apollo Theater. I was flown to, this is the strangest thing. I was flown to New York, got in a car that was waiting for me, that took me right to the concert. It was it was a special album release for this, Issues. It was the album release party, and I got invited to it, and somehow. And so it was a big special concert, exclusive concert. It was at the Apollo. It got a special exclusive t-shirt that I cannot find anymore. But yeah, out of all the concerts that you could have, if you've been to the Apollo once and could have seen, mine was Korn. Flown there, saw the concert, walked out of the concert, got into the car took me back to the airport, had to wait 45 minutes, an hour, got back on a plane. That was my New York experience. I didn't see one thing except for the Apollo Theater. And by the way, Issues used to have different covers. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. They had a cover contest, and fans made different covers, and like maybe 4 of them were out for a while before they settled on the teddy bear. I was in country radio for a while, and this is going to be another person where I probably can't really talk about who it is. But so there was this performer who was going to come home, back to their hometown, and homegirl does good. She's coming home, back home. Let's do a big CMT production with it. Let's do a concert at this big bar. Get all of her old friends back together. Woo! Gonna be a good time. All right, so she's in the bar, and then they got the cameras around, and she's got the mic on. She's mic'd. She's got a producers back there with the headphones on. All of a sudden, she's in the bar, and here comes an old friend. Oh, how you doing, girl? Woo! I ain't seen you in forever. I heard you on the radio the other day. Woo! Hey, we should come in the bathroom, do some lines with me. She's, shh, I can't do lines. Well, are you too good to Miss Hollywood now, Miss Nashville? You can't go in the back and lay down some rails with your old friends? I remember when I used to have my motorcycle out. We'd all be heading out of town. You'd be walking up, can I have a ride? I'll give you a ride. Yeah, I gave you a ride, little girl. I remember that. Now you're all big-headed, can't lay down some rails. Shh, I ain't gonna shut. Hey, Larry. She did a good job, girl. Won't even too good to go do some lines and do some bumps in the bathroom with the old boy. Oh, she did too good, is she? That's what I thought. I told you, Howard. I told you she was too. And then 3 more come up. Yeah, it was too good. Shh. Finally, the producer for CMT comes out of the shadows. It was like, all right, enough. Cut. We're wasting footage. Enough. You, and you, out of the frame. You see those nice-looking women over there? Go talk to them so we can film it. We're trying to make a television show here, for Christ's sake. And I don't know who the CMT, I only worked with a CMT producer one time. It was around, I didn't really work with him, it was around him. And everything was for Christ's sake. You think he was making like a church special, literally for the sake of Jesus Christ. For Christ's sake, for Christ's sake. We're trying to make a TV show for Christ's sake. And so, yeah, she got, her friends were silenced. But yeah, that was a shh. What, you too good? The more she shushed, of course, you know, the louder they got. But I can't really talk about who that was. Okay, Ozzy Osbourne, man. When you see you're gonna meet one of your people that you've, I mean, like idolized. I never really idolized Ozzy Osbourne, but I love Black Sabbath. You know, the early stuff with him, and so he's in concert. When was this? This was I got some of these written down here. This was July 18th, 96, at Riverport. And this was an Ozzy concert. I think this was the Retirement Sucks tour. And I'm going to meet Ozzy, going to talk to Ozzy, and man, blew it. He walks up to me, and he walks up to us, and he's saying stuff to different people. And he looks at me, and he says something. I don't know. And I'm not trying to pile on the jokes about, you know, Ozzy, you can't understand him when he talks, but you can't. And what do you do when it's like you, and he turns around and says something to you, looking you in the eyes, and you have no clue what he just said? And that's exactly what happened. And I'm like, yeah. And then he says something else like, and gives me a look like saying, yeah, it didn't make sense with what he said. And then he walks and he starts talking to somebody else. I'm like, man, I just blew that. But yeah, that's my Ozzy Osbourne experience. He looked at me and said something, and I have no idea what he said. And I promise you, I am not making fun of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not trying to pile on the joke with that, but that's what happened. I mean, actually, it's kind of embarrassing on my part, really. I mean, because I'm the guy. One of my side, interests is dialects and, languages and things like that, accents and things like that. I'm the guy that, if we're in a group of people and somebody's speaking in a big accent, I'm the person everybody will turn to and be like, what did they just say? And I will be able to tell them. But Ozzy Osbourne, I seriously could not decipher. I was flogged by Rob Halford once. Moving on, backstage at an Aerosmith concert, Steven Tyler, man, he gets really affectionate with the ladies. If you got a girlfriend, I don't know if he still does. This is, this is 20 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago. But, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But, because girls would come and sit right on his lap. He'll hold, bounce him around on his knee and talk to him like right here. And it's Steven Tyler. And I thought it might be just groupies that they know, we'll follow them all over the country. No, I had a radio guy that I worked with me. He had his girlfriend with him. And, obviously she's never seen Steven Tyler before. Right on his lap, bouncing him on his knee. Talk, hey, baby, how you doing? Was that oh, well, yeah, we got to be careful. We don't want your boyfriend to get upset. We don't want to get too close. And right up on her face. And so he was just driving these women crazy backstage. I mean, they were just like all getting, whoo, in heat, Concert's over. I don't know if these girls were backstage. Maybe that explains it. Concert's over. These three girls are, kind of half drunk or whatever. This one is super wasted out in front. The alpha one. It's out in front, completely wasted. The other two friends are kind of tagging along. She's like, oh my God, I gotta find a man. I don't care, Denise. I don't care. I want a man now. I want a man. I mean, seriously, like that. There's this dude walking around in like kind of nice clothing, like almost like a suit or something. He's over by himself, just kind of standing. This chick runs over to him and molests him. Like we were walking up kind of far away, and we see all this. Like, does she know that guy? I don't think she knows that. He's like, what the hell, lady? And she's like all over his crotch and stuff. She's got his hand down the back of his, I mean, just seriously, like totally molesting this guy right there at Riverport up there. All of a sudden, this woman walks up. I guess his girlfriend or wife or something. She's pissed. She starts screaming. The girl's screaming at her. The two friends take off. They're like, hell with this. I'm out. They're gone. And we all run up like, no. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. This girl just came up and started attacking him. Oh, yeah, right. Who are you? We don't know this guy. We don't know anybody. We're from the radio station. We're just telling you what happened. And I hope that couple stayed together or whatever. But yeah, this girl was, I mean, I've never seen a woman so like, and I don't know if it was Steven. I think it was Steven Tyler that did it. Here's the Taste of India radio promo. But yeah, it was around that time. But yeah, Nine Lives album. But yeah, gets them women all worked up and they just go crazy. So guys, go to Aerosmith concerts, man, and then just hang out afterward. Just wait in the parking lot. Did you know that Lady Gaga backstage has like a 60s style, I don't know if it's a replica or if it's a real one, but she has an old turntable in her like dressing room thing. And when I saw her, she was playing Elton John's Tumbleweed Connection on a record. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit of, Lady Gaga. Megadeth saw them at Riverport Amphitheater as well. That's the time they forgot that they were in St. Louis and thought they were in Kansas City. This is right around the Cryptic Writings album tour. And so Dave Mustaine's on the stage. He's like, all right, I want to see them Kansas City hands in the air. You don't say Kansas City if you're in St. Louis. That's like, you might as well say Chicago. If you whole audience starts booing. I don't think he knows why, but hey, God damn it, I'm Megadeth. You don't boo. Why are they booing? Yeah, everybody starts booing, and he gets pissed. He's like, well, put your hands up or don't put your hands up. I don't give a shit. I mean, he said it just like that. I'm like, oh my God, let's just, come on. This isn't going well. Let's just head out. Let's go to the Metallica concert instead and get some piss thrown on us. Danzig. I have an extensive story working with Danzig. We were basically made into his makeshift road crew because he showed up without one. And if you want to hear that full story, I'm not going to repeat it. You can check out my video. It's the one where I do 20 new albums from the last 2 years. It's right at the very end of the video where I talk about my experience with Glenn Danzig. Let's just say I have a friend that worked in radio that had another experience with him where I talk about this too, where there's urinating in a bag with a tape recorder in it involved. So yeah, Glenn Danzig story. And finally, one of the coolest I've ever felt in my life was at the Luna concert. Yes, Luna is a band from the 90s. They had a song called Slash Your Tires that was kind of popular college radio for a while. And they had a remake of Donovan's Season of the Witch. I saw them at a little basement bar called Cicero's in St. Louis. It's moved and it's different now. It's a restaurant now, but it used to be a basement bar. And these guys are up there playing, and they're doing a cover of John Lennon's Hold On, John. And if you know that song, it's from the Plastic Ono Band album. If you know that song, it's just kind of going along in this real sweet acoustic light thing. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, somebody in the song goes, Cookie! Out of nowhere, and the song keeps playing, and they get back to singing, Hold On, World. So these guys are playing it, and I don't know if anybody else in the audience knows the song or not, so I'm just, I'm kind of, feeling good or whatever at the Luna concert, the little basement bar, they're playing it, and right to the part where it gets to the part where he goes, Cookie, I say it, I'm like, Cookie! And the whole crowd turns around like, what in the hell is this guy's friggin' deal? Lead singer's playing guitar, just looks up and goes, and everybody then turns back around at me and I'm like, well, who the hell are you? And I just felt like the coolest guy in the world. That was the first time I ever was at a concert, and I'm like, yeah, I'm somebody. I'm the guy that yelled out Cookie right when he was supposed to, and none of you other people even knew what it was about, but I connected with that lead singer, so screw all you people. I just felt really good. I thought that was a nice positive, uplifting way to end my tales. Now, I'm sure as soon as I unlock this video, I'm going to think of like 2 or 3 more stories like, oh man, I should have totally talked about that. Why did I forget about that? So maybe there'll be a volume 2 coming or whatever. But thank you so much for watching. If you've got some crazy concert stories, please let us know in the comments. Maybe if I do make that second video, I'll make your comment story part of it. But yeah, maybe I won't make that. I don't know. Maybe there are no more great stories. I was backstage at a Tool concert. Nothing crazy happened. I just wanted to throw out that I was backstage at a Tool concert. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please consider giving the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. And thank you so much to all the other vinyl community channels that keep making those great vinyl community videos. Keep them coming. Definitely enjoy those. And I'm Robert Fitton. Thanks again for watching.